I can probably guarantee there's exercises for the hip you're missing out, so you're not getting a full balance of training around the hip joint. Well, in this video, we are going to go through the best exercises you want to be getting in to make sure you're hitting all the areas you need to be. The majority of exercises will have a full focus on the glutes, and specifically glute max, the big muscle everyone is bothered about for aesthetics, with the benefit that it's also incredibly important functionally as well. But the whole focus on this means all the other muscles around the hip, and there's more than you think, take a major backseat and are neglected. We have got 5 of the best exercises to strengthen the hips globally. Now, we aren't covering the exercises hitting that glute max, all the mainstream stuff like squats, deadlifts, and hip thrusts, which are all great and wanted to keep in because, as mentioned, working the glute max is massively important. But we are going to go through the less obvious stuff that's normally missed. And there is likely at least one on this list that you are not doing. Exercise 1 is single leg work. Something like a Bulgarian split squat would be great, but another really good option that's less common is a step down, but doing it in a specific way to get the most out of it. This will involve finding a step at a height where you can control the lowering all the way down without then having to push up off the floor. So when you're doing it, keep your toes lifted, and as soon as your heel touches the floor, rise back up. To target this more towards the hips, then sit back more into it rather than the knee going forward. The benefit of this is you'll also get a lot of glute med working, not just glute max. Just make sure your knee isn't caving in so that you're getting more muscle activation at the hip. You can progress this and get even more glute med work by adding weight just to the side that's lowering to the floor, or you can progress by stepping down from a higher level. Exercise 2 is crab walks, a great exercise for hitting the glute med muscle more directly, and doing it how we show you, you will also hit other neglected muscles as well. Get a really strong band for this, wrap it around your feet, and you'll be walking side to side. Do equal reps one way and then the other. When doing it, lift your foot up on the leading leg and the following leg as though stepping over something. This would also then get some hip flexor involvement, and the benefit of having it around your feet is you'll also get perineal muscle involvement in the lower leg as well. So a great exercise hitting multiple muscles that are generally neglected in training. Whatever number you do one way, then do the other. Exercise 3 is a standing cable hip flexion. So great for hitting the hip flexors more directly. Standing with the cable machine behind you, have something to hold on to if needing to for balance. With a handle over your foot, then drive the knee up high. Hold for a second and then slowly lower. Keep your body upright when doing this and stand far enough forward to let your leg go behind you. This will allow extra stretch for the hip flexor, great for mobility and for building the muscle. So we've hit the back, the side and the front of the hip. Now for the inside and the adductors with exercise 4, the Copenhagen adductor exercise. This is the best hip adductor exercise and great for reducing groin injuries. There's a few different ways to do this, but ideally you'll set up somewhere you can put your leg on where your other leg can then go through underneath. You'll be set up in a side plank position with your leg up, then let yourself lower down and then lift the body back up by using your adductors. You can easily start with this so that you have more of the leg connected to the surface and harder with more of the leg off. Don't go too far, otherwise I find this puts a lot of strain onto the knee and MCL, which is less comfortable. You can do this as a static hold, which is easier, but I find it better to do it for reps, if you can, and ideally a surface high enough to give some more stretch. If you haven't got a surface where you can get your other leg to go through, then you can use a normal surface and just bend the bottom leg instead. So we put the inside, outside, or front, the back, and now for those deeper muscles with exercise 5, hip openers. Set up so leaning forward with the back straight and the leg off the floor so it's almost in a straight line. Holding onto something for stability with one hand and holding onto a weight on the other side. You will then rotate at the hip, opening up and work to contract the muscles of the standing leg. And you want to be feeling it right in that glute area, but it will be the deeper muscles working. Hold the weight in the opposite hand to add load, and this can be easily progressed by increasing the weight being held. So that's all the hip being worked from every angle. If you want a program with all of these included for a truly all-round approach to give you your best balanced body, then check out our gym programs. The link is in the description. Otherwise, start adding some of these into your training. And if you're wanting some more exercises for the legs, then watch this video here to see all the lower leg muscles that get missed and the exercises to include for them. Again, likely at least one on that list that you won't be doing.